on, Utah. I like that. That's a great sign of events. Not a lot of time, and hold up. Welcome to the live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. Welcome to the live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by the community guidelines. It's so important that you do so. It is so important, so important that you do so. Woo! Thank you. Thank you very much. Happy Tuesday. Wacho, macho, wacho, taco, mega, maga Tuesday. I love Tuesday. I'm in Northern California and I love nacho, wacho, macho, wacho, nacho, mega Tuesday. Because we get bomb tacos. You ain't had no taco till you came to California. Hey, oh, happy mega Tuesday. Macho, Tuesday. Mrs. Perfect Timing in the podcast. First in the building. First gets a shout out. Hey, I love to see that. How's everybody doing, man? Salute to everybody. Salute to you, man. Come on in. Number one podcast, number one host, number one everything with the mostest on the West Coasters. Yeah, man, we got another fire broadcast with a bunch of updates. Shout out to Mr. Boski in the building. Say hi. Shout out to you, man. Double tap. Come on in. Subscribe, man. Like, share, subscribe. Everybody as you come in, double tap, hit the subscribe, get a shout out, send out some unity and love in the chat because God knows we need it in America right now. Man, all we need is love and understanding. Woo! That's all we need right now. Come on in, everybody. We're going to have a talk. We got a bunch of updates, a bunch to discuss, a bunch of new ideas, revelations, and theories. I need you to react. Let me know in the comments. Let me know live. Let me know after the podcast. Go to the comment section after you double tap, after you like, after you share, after you subscribe. Go to the podcast, leave a comment. We need to find out right now what's going on. We need to find out this morning, so we're going to talk about it right now. New revelations, new updates, new breaking. That's all we do every day with MAGA. New MAGA information, new MAGA information every day, all day. MAGA, Trump news, giving Democrats the boo-hoo-hoo blues, giving Democrats the boo-hoo-hoo. I was just watching that Trump announcement, man. Dr. Oz, part of the Trump administration. RFK, part of the Trump administration. Trump announcing that he was the one responsible for the dropping the insulin down to $35. It made me reminisce on my grandmother, rest in peace. How many of us suffer from, people say things about Trump. Trump has to be this, but who disproportionately benefits from drops like that? Like the individuals who epigenetically inherit type 2 diabetes, you know what I'm saying? Hypertension. There are certain populations in America that it's in your genetic makeup, right? Alcoholism. I don't know if you go to your doctor and you know your PCP in the way you should have a relationship with your personal health care. You know, I'm 50 years old. So, you know, we be on top of our health care. So you're supposed to be on top of your health care. But if you are on top of your healthcare and you understand and know about epigenetics and how hypertension, diabetes can be handed now and inherited genetically, then you understand the huge benefit of Donald Trump dropping the price of insulin to $35 for a certain population of Americans who are more prone to hypertension and diabetes. I think they call it the sugar. right? Why? Because a certain population consumes a bad diet, consuming a lot of high fatty foods full of rich in sugar. So they are more susceptible because it was low income. Going back to Jim Crow, low income led to a certain type of diet that led to high proportions of diabetes, hypertension, and a need for insulin. And wouldn't you know it that the Democrats didn't do nothing about it, but the Democrats want to take credit, but the insulin stayed high under Obama. Under Obamacare, the insulin stayed abnormally high where people couldn't even get the insulin. But you saying Obamacare saved you. Obamacare was so great. Then why couldn't my grandma, your grandma, get insulin at a fair price until President Trump? But President, think about this. Who disproportionately is affected by hypertension, diabetes, and the sugar? We can look it up. You can look it up right now because certain populations are not plagued with those diseases. So they may have not been concerned. You know, Democratic elites, we don't want to say white people don't really have a lot of high hypertension, diabetes, or anything related to calling it the sugar. You know what I'm saying? So when Trump lowers the price and you hear an announcement, and for some reason the liberal media wants to poo-poo the announcement, right? They want to plague sandbag. Remember when you heard the term politically sandbag the announcement, right? Of insulin being lowered. How many of you even knew, right? Because a lot of us lost our grandparents in the pandemic. A lot of us lost people we love in the pandemic because they had comorbidities like hypertension, right? Like diabetes, right? So how many of us are affected by the fact that insulin was $300 to $500, right? Obamacare screwed me. That's Mr. Boski. So Trump makes an announcement, and I had to go watch it myself because all I saw on X was all these memes and jokes about Tylenol. But how many people really went through the details of what Trump announced with Dr. Oz and with RFK about the details of the Tylenol, about the other cancer medication? And if you don't have an HMO or a PPO, if you don't have a health insurance, if you get your free insurance from the government, you may not be familiar with these hurdles that everyday working people had to face. Where there was a medication that was marketed for cancer, but was found like Ozempic. Ozempic was not designed for weight loss. Can anybody put in the chat what was the initial, what's they call it, designation, or, you know, what was the initial reason for Ozempic? It wasn't weight loss, but then it was found that Ozempic could cause weight loss, where there's a medication. Let me bring it up right now. There's a medication that could help with autism, right? But it wasn't covered. I don't know how to pronounce it correctly, but I'm going to spell it for everybody. It's Leucovorin. Leucovorin, Leucovorin, Medicaid to cover leucovorin, phelonic acid. Everybody listening? Phelonic acid for ASD treatment targeting folate issues. Private insurers urged to follow. So what they found is that kids with ASD have low folate rates and folate issues. But this drug was initially designed for cancer patients to help with their folate issues. Coverage rolled out September 25th. 50 million Medicaid kids prescriptions up to 200% week over week, right? Supplements remain sold out. Anybody want to speak to phelonic acid and folate issues with their ASD child? And now the fact that you can get it covered as part of your benefit because you're paying for it already. But if you have a job and you have an understanding of an HMO or a PPO, then you understand the hurdles that come along with getting certain medications that were not classified for your current diagnosis. You have a diagnosis, you have a problem list. When they place an order for medications, it has to be related to a diagnosis. I can't give you Ozempic before this huge trend, because you don't have the proper diagnosis to justify me prescribing you Ozempic. Then this huge trend comes out. out, and then they create another medical designation. So now I can prescribe Ozempic for weight loss, and then we can promote it on television. But it wasn't the initial reason why Ozempic was created. Similar for autism, for Leukoven. Now keep listening. Autism Data Initiative, $50 million to NIH program for research on toxins, vaccines, and causes, data integration across agencies. RFK Jr. targets root causes by September 2026. So it wasn't all about Tylenol, but they wanted to poo-poo and sandbag the administration's progress and productivity. What I talk about every day with MAGA, what I talk about every day with Trump, what are we seeing with the Kamala Harris 107 book? Kamala Harris has given us an open book into the Biden administration. MAGA already knew because we saw Biden falling asleep on stage. But Kamala Harris has opened the book into the hypocrisy and the hypnosis of not only the Democratic Party, but the Biden administration, including herself. Kamala Harris admits that she and the entire administration and the entire party was hypnotized by Jill and Joe Biden. Similarly, we have these lack of productivity during that time. What did Kamala mean by hypnotized? Hypnotized saying that she did not challenge Joe on what the borders are, on running for president again, on being ineffective and non-productive, like the lack of accountability when it came to the insulin. Joe Biden and the Democrats tried to take credit for Donald Trump reducing insulin down to $35. How sad is that? How the Democrats had so little productivity that all Donald Trump had, that all Biden could do, let's go Brandon Sleepy Joe, was take credit. And this is the same thing with the economy that Biden inherited, that he ruined. Trump gave Biden a great economy. The entire Biden presidency was predicated on Trump's successes. Trump's success with warp speed. Do you remember warp speed? How Trump rolled out and how Trump responded to the pandemic is why Biden inherited such good footing. Then Biden ruined it, right? By handing over everything to Fauci. Then Biden had to pardon Fauci after they ruined the successful hand that Trump had given him. Everybody said Trump wouldn't leave office. Not only did Trump leave office, but Trump gave the Democrats a winning hand. Can anybody say winning hand in the chat? Trump gave Biden and the border czar, the new first black vice president. I didn't know she was black. It's okay if Kamala is black. I just didn't know she was black. Gave them a winning hand, gave them a winning economy, gave them warp speed. They already had a vaccine, but then they fudged it up. If you disagree with me that Biden administration and your borders are messed it up, then tell me in the chat, why did Biden have to pardon Fauci? Can we have a real talk? Because YouTube is allowing us to have this conversation. Do you know YouTube? Thank you, YouTube. YouTube had to admit that conversations like this were censored. So what I am arguing is that Trump gave the Democrats a winning hand, a winning economy, warp speed with the vaccine, and able to cure the country. And Biden flubbed it up along with Fauci. They flubbed it up so bad that Biden at the last minute. Now think about this, if you dispute what I'm saying, because it wasn't something that was done in the light. All things done in the dark come to the light. Last minute, midnight, auto pen. Can we have auto pen in the chat? Who are you watching right now? Back at it like a crack addict, automatic like a fomatic, built for tragedy, made for static. It's your boy, Perfect Timing Podcast, back with the blast, in and out with a dash. 2025 won't last. We're going to get this done real fast. Relax your talk sports. Double tap, hit the like. I need everybody watching to hit the like. Everybody watching, hit the super chat. Thank you, Mrs. Perfect Timing, for getting it going. 15 super chats is the goal. Everybody double tap. Everybody like. Auto pen. Who said that? Thank you for saying that. Auto pen. Last minute, midnight. Who else got auto pen party? Hunter Biden. But Fauci To stick to the point about healthcare in America and how Donald Trump has the most productive presidency since the last 20 years. Donald Trump and MAGA is not just an acronym. Donald Trump and MAGA is not just the acronym. MAGA stands for Make America Great Again. You might ask me how. How do we make America great again? Well, we lower the cost of insulin. Right? We make it safe to walk around the Capitol Mall in Washington, D.C., the capital of the largest #1 country and economy in the world. What would be wrong with people who visit America coming to the capital of America, Washington, D.C., and seeing it clean and safe? Huh? How about coming to Chicago, you go into a museum, one of the most historic museums in the world, one of the most historic cities in the world, the Art Institute in Chicago, universities in Chicago. How about people visiting and educated in Chicago see a beautiful, wonderful American metropolis where murder and crime is no longer the rule of the day? I want that. Don't you want that? Shouldn't we have that as Americans? That someplace like Chicago with all of the great rich history. How many people in Southside Chicago get to go to the Art Institute, those Chicago universities? How about we expand and make America great for everybody? See, MAGA is not just the acronym. MAGA is not not enough likes, man. Not enough likes, man. What we doing? What we doing, man? We're going to get the Candace Owens and the revelations, but we don't have enough likes. I don't know what's going on. We just sitting back. We got to have a like. We got to have a like party. My name is Perfect. This is the Perfect Timing Podcast. You're tuning into the most intellectual discussion on YouTube. The chat is popping. The chat stay popping. If you want to have a discussion with other intellectuals about the topics of the day, jump in the chat right now. I am the host. Thank you for those super chats. I am the host. If you want me to address anything in the chat, I'm going to ask, because my chat is so round and rumpus, like a big bumpus, I'm going to ask you to put it in the super chat. So I see a lot of people writing paragraphs, but I'm focused on my topics and my bullet points. So what I need and I ask you to do, if you want the hostess with the mostest on the West Coastest to address your comment, you're going to have to put it in the super chat. Respect the host. Respect the podcast, follow YouTube etiquette, right? Act like you know. If you don't know, there's the dough. Act like you know. If you don't know, there's the dough. Let's get the likes up. I'm gonna have a sip of my tea. Y'all work this out in the chat, how y'all gonna troll and do what you're gonna do. But I'm gonna get a sip of this tea. Oh man, that's good this morning. What we got this morning? Oh, raspberry hibiscus with lemon and lime. Shout out to the raspberry hibiscus. Shout out to the herbal community. Shout out to the vegan community. Shout out to the herbivore community. Shout out to everybody this morning. We having a good time this morning. YouTube doing its job. I'm doing my job. You do your job. Double tap, hit the like button. What I need you to do is double tap and hit the like button. A lot of my viewers are above the age of 40, and a lot of you might be a little bit elderly. I know I look at my analytics. My analytics says a lot of elderly people who watch me, 40 to 60, 49. People said 49, 59. So you may not know how to like the video. So I'm going to help you right now. I'm going to do a little tutorial. If you're watching me on the cell phone, one of the things you could do is double tap the cell phone. Another thing you could do is in the upper right-hand corner, there's 3 ellipses. Hit those 3 ellipses, and that's another way for you to like the video. So thank you for all the elderly people watching. We need 100 likes 5 minutes ago. You're watching the #1 podcast in the land. Politicization podcast, back with the blast. We started off in a dash discussing the Trump announcement, what Donald Trump announced with Dr. Oz and RFK, brand new announcement. And how we laid the foundation is a great argument and understanding for anybody going to the barbershop in the next couple of days, because we don't talk about the Trump presidency in a holistic because we got that little bump. It was a bump in the road, but it was only a bump in the road. But historians who write the Trumpsonian novels, the Trumpsonian epic, you will have to address both terms. Both terms. What happened? Because we never have been put on quarantine. America had never, they called it the Great Reset. We went through a lot with that first Trump presidency. See, that's why I told you that MAGA understood the climate, because look at what severity those went through to sandbag the first Trump presidency. They brought out something that had never been seen before. Trump in that first year was going so well, similar to this first year. Remember, everybody, look at mirror images of the last Trump administration and look at this Trump administration. That first year of the first administration, Trump was ruling like a steam train. And this year, 48 confirmations. Just last week, I gave news. Just last week, yeah, I took away all the wrenches. Y'all like that? Merry Christmas. I took oh man. Trump's first administration was so successful in that first year. We saw an epic obstacle, but Trump solved that obstacle with Operation Warp Speed, handed Biden a winning economy and a solution to the global problem that we had never seen before. We never talk about the Trump presidency holistically because there's so much propaganda out there. People upset. They want to be violent, doing all this stuff. But look at the holistic approach of what Donald Trump did. And then Donald Trump, as a billionaire, came back for a second term. Donald Trump didn't have to come back for a second term, but he saw what the Democrats was doing to the successes that he created, and they were destroying the country. So MAGA had to ride again. And then thank God for Charlie Kirk. Thank God for Charlie Kirk. Why do I say thank God for Charlie Kirk? Because not only did MAGA ride again, but MAGA rode again with J.D. Vance, the future. Not a 70-year-old candidate, not an 80-year-old candidate. For the first time in years, we have a young, professional, capable, young future. This is so amazing. Thank you, because Charlie Kirk suggested to Trump, you know, J.D. Vance's age had to be part of it, because I know Charlie Kirk felt the same way a lot of us feel, that it's time for a new generation to lead the country, and these elderly men have to step aside. People like Nancy Pelosi, 85 years old, Maxine Waters, 80 years old. Thank you, Charlie Kirk, for suggesting J.D. Vance a new way forward for America. The youth shall lead. The youth shall lead. And what else about J.D. Vance? That's magical, mystical. Miracle, J.D. Vance, single parent home, J.D. Vance, poverty, J.D. Vance, food stamps raised by his grandmother. J.D. Vance in a multicultural marriage with multicultural children. Not only is he the youth, but he is the epitome of the melting pot. J.D. Vance, young, intelligent, capable, but also a picture of American success. Yes, multicultural family, multicultural children, beautiful caramel-complected babies. Beautiful caramel complected babies with this daddy and this mama. It's a picture of success. It's what America truly is. America is a melting pot. How can you get up there and say we don't love immigrants? How can you get up there and say that we don't love all people when your next president is in a multicultural marriage? If I'm being honest, Donald Trump is in a multicultural marriage. Ivanka, what's her name? Melania? Melania is her name, right? Where is Melania from? I know she's white passing, right? But isn't she a Slavic? Isn't Donald Trump also in a multicultural marriage? We never have real talks. We never have an honest depiction of what and how great this country is and how great our leaders are. They want to sell you racism. I think they should have to work harder. Charlie Kirk wasn't racist. His best friend and first girlfriend was Candace Owens. They worked together. Beautiful black woman. They created Blexit. Donald Trump is married to an immigrant. How many people knew that? Can we get some truth in the chat? This is the best chat on YouTube. This is the best intellectual conversation on YouTube. No one else is having this real conversation and debate. Subscribe, like, and share to the best conversation. Perfect Time to Podcast with the Blast. Top of the mid-morning from an OG perspective. Donald Trump is married to an immigrant. J.D. Vance is in a multicultural marriage with multicultural children, both of the president and the vice president. Can we just be honest about how great America is? They want you, see, the Democrats, I said, what did I say? The Democrats want you to put on your rainbow lenses, see everything through these rainbow color lenses and say, Donald Trump is this or that, give you two choices and not have you be complex human beings with the most complex brain on the planet. They just want you to be dumbed down like a dog, yes or no, red or blue. There is no between. There is no thought process for a lot of you. Just red and blue, just black and white. That's all you see. And I'm telling you, it's a hypnosis and it's a political tactic by the Dems to frame everything in this racial couch. Oh, we having rain today? Well, the weather has changed and we have rain and clouds in the Sierra. Well, they must have to do with low income and black poverty. I'm sorry, we said we're having rain. I'm just doing a weather report. Yeah, my name is Steve of the Democratic Liberal Socialist, and you said you're having rain. I just wanted to say that rain is probably attributed to low income and black low income in the wealth gap. The wealth gap has to do with the rain. I'm sorry, sir. We just want to promote the weather here. Everything doesn't. You must be a MAGA Republican. This is how the day goes. Every day, if you're a MAGA Republican, if you're a black MAGA Republican, somebody talks about there's a brand new construction going on downtown, beautiful new building. Well, do you have black people working? We just announced the fact that there's a great building going up. We're hiring anyone who wants to work. We didn't know we had to put out special job announcements for black people. Yeah, there's black unemployment and DEI. If you're gonna build a building downtown, you better hire some black. Okay, we didn't know. We thought we could just build a building and hire people who had the qualifications, who know how to build a building. We didn't know that everything that we do in America, according to the Democrats, has to be seen through racial lenses. Haven't you noticed it? Cracker Barrel, Bud Light. You can't have a drink after work. I can't even have an ice cold beer. I work hard. I take care of my kids, pay my taxes. All I want to do is have an ice cold beer. They politicized it. They made my after work refreshment. I went to work. I paid my taxes. I did everything. I followed my part of the agreement. All I want to do is have me an ice cold beer. I don't care who made it. All I want it to be is cold. I'm going to say this again. I don't care who made it. All I want it to be is cold. Can I have my ice cold beer? All of a sudden they politicize it. Can't have my ice cold beer. If I have my ice cold beer, I'm on this side, I'm on that side. Why I got to be on the side? How about I be on America's side? How about all they do is drive people to MAGA, make America great again. All it do is drive people to MAGA. All I wanted was an ice cold beer. After having my beer, I want to go to the restroom. I want to go use the restroom, but I don't know at 55 years old which door to go into, because it used to be two doors. It had a boy and a girl. Now there's four doors. They got one with three people on it. They got one with two people on it, one with some funny lines. I don't know where to go use the bathroom, and I don't want to get in trouble. What happened to two doors? I just had an ice cold beer. Somebody yelled at me for having an ice cold beer because I wasn't supposed to drink it. I didn't know. Now I want to go use the bathroom, and there's four choices. Y'all help me out. Which door do I go into? There's four choices. Have you been to a bathroom lately at the ballpark, and have you seen an elderly person? I have. You think it's funny? Have you seen an elderly person sitting outside wondering which door? Just this weekend, I was somewhere with my family, and the elderly gentleman, all white hair, all around, didn't know which door to go into. He said, well, this door is for this and this door is for that. I just don't want to walk into the wrong door. I wish this was a joke. It became a joke, but it was an anecdotal story. This is reality. Mrs. Perfect Timing was with me, having an ice cold beer, going to the restroom, and the elderly person don't know which door to go into. Thank you, Democrat. This is America. Thank you, Democrats. All we wanted to do was go to the bathroom. That's all he wanted. He didn't want to pick a side. You don't understand politics. I told you your dollar is political. You haven't understood the last administration put you in a world where everywhere you went, you were forced to pick a side. When you used the bathroom, you had to pick a side. When you bought your groceries and they gave you grocery bags and you had to pay money, a dime for your grocery bags. You had to bag up your own. Listen to this. You had to bag up your own groceries, pay $12 for eggs. Not only did I bag up my own groceries, but I paid for the bags. I must not be American. Am I conservative MAGA? I cannot be conservative MAGA. I'm going to tell you again, because I was PO'd. Anybody else was PO'd in the chat? Not only did I bag up my own groceries, I paid for the bags and I paid $12 for the eggs. Where am I living? What country is this? You gonna make me self-check out? And I used my credit card. I should have used your credit card. Why? What kind of idiot bags up his own groceries, pays for his own bags, and then when nobody looking, pull out my money and put it into a machine like I just got money to give away after you didn't employ me? You ain't gonna compensate me. You really have put me to work. I am your employee. You have, shout out to Jax on YouTube. JD Vance is a fake product of Peter Thiel. Look into it. Jax, you must be new here. Why do you know about Peter Thiel and Palantir? Jax, you must be new here. Thank you for the super chat. Why do you know about Peter Thiel and Palantir? Did you know about them during the campaign? There's a reason. If you have been watching the channel, you would understand that we are in the 2028 campaign. Kamala Harris, usually when you run for president, you put out a book. Kamala Harris is starting her campaign with 107 days. She is separating herself from the Democratic elites and the traditional Democratic Party with that book. When her honesty about Gavin Newsom, she can't have Gavin Newsom help her now, and because Gavin Newsom's going to run for president. But if you are paying attention, JD Vance hosting the Charlie Kirk show postpartum. Thank you, Charlie Kirk. Rest in peace. JD Vance has started his campaign. Kamala Harris has started her campaign. And have you seen Gavin Newsom's memes? Did you see Gavin Newsom on the back of a bear? Did you see Gavin Newsom on the cold bear couch? I said, Gavin, yesterday, if you were watching here, I said, Gavin Newsom, since JD Vance is fake, tell me about Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom sat on the cold bear couch, incited violence, talking about pushback against ICE and National Guard. But cold bear complicitly never asked Gavin Newsom what happened to the water. That's all I want to know. Jax, what happened to the water? Democrats, what happened to the water? This should be a national question. Democrats should be held to the fire. No pun intended. Gavin Newsom, what happened to the water? Everybody watching, double tap and hit the like button. 300 people watching. We on our way to 1,000. We need 300 likes. Gavin Newsom, Colbert, you're on the couch. Jimmy Kimmel, all this complaint about free speech. But the reason why Colbert and Jimmy Kimmel get pushed off air because they're Democratic operatives and they don't present a whole story. And so that's not real journalism. That's not real journalism. That is Democrat. They should be forced back on NBC, MSNBC. They should not be allowed on late night talk shows because they're Democratic operatives. Colbert did not ask Gavin Newsom, where is the water and where is the $100 million in funding? Where is the $100 million in fire aid? When you ask Gavin Newsom, why did we run out of water? Why did we not have enough firefighters, enough fire engines? How did this 3 communities burn down in California? Have you fixed the problem? Why are you worried about Donald Trump and national issues, geopolitical issues when you're the governor of California and you have a real problem on your hands to solve? You need to fix before we have another fire because California is seasonal. Right now we have in the Sierras, what Mrs. Perfect Timing, how many lightning strikes? Anybody from Northern California? I was amazed because I saw in Northern California in the weather report said over 1,000 lightning strikes. I never heard of anything like this before. I want to say 4,000, but I don't want to be misquoted. I think he said 4,000, but I'm just going to say in the thousands, lightning strikes in the Sierras. It's 90 degrees in California, but in Nevada Sierras, there's thousands of lightning strikes. So I just wanted to share with you that we have seasonal fire issues. We talked about a controlled burn here. So when you talk about J.D. Vance being fake, please tell me who's really fake. Why is the governor of California not fixing a serious problem? And why is Colbert and Jimmy Kimmel, who's supposed to be on the side of the people, not addressing that problem? There was a major failure in California. There was a major failure in LA. Thank you. I want to say thank you, Jax, for allowing me to go into this. There was a major, because Gavin Newsom sat on that couch and Colbert with complete indignation, put it in the chat, indignation, and I can't say it. I get tripped up sometimes. But Gavin Newsom sat on that couch like his shit didn't stink. Think about this. Gavin Newsom, governor of California, after Eden burnt down, Pacific Palisades burnt down to the ground because of inept Democratic failures in policy. Not enough water. Fire hydrants ran dry. Not enough fire engines. This is just the truth of the matter. Then after the fire, there was a fundraiser. $100 million was raised to help the people of Eden, historical Black community, an historical Black community that burnt down to the ground due to Democrat. This is a perfect Brexit argument. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to delve into the real issues behind Brexit and Democrat complicity. This is a Brexit issue. When you talk about the Eden fires in a historical Black community that traditionally always voted Democrat, burning to the ground because Democrats failed again. Democrats fail again. This is a reason. If I'm Black and I lost my house in Eden, I am not voting Democrat ever again. A Democratic failure. And what have they done to fix the problem? Colbert did not even ask Gavin Newsom, do we have water? Fuck what Trump is talking about. You are governor of California. I live in California. Do we have water? If we were to have a fire today, and it's a real question, a real concern, because we have seasonal fire in California. No other state deals with seasonal fires. Every year we have guaranteed we're going to have wildfires in California. Gavin Newsom, instead of worrying about national and geopolitical, instead of running for president in 2025, a 4-year campaign, do you have water for Californians with this seasonal fire issue? Jax donated another $10. Thank you, Jax on YouTube. The Democrats are horrible. I'm more center-right, but J.D. Vance make me incredibly nervous. He has 3 different last names, totally a fake creation. So I understand because we live. Thank you again for the second super chat, Jax. Everybody follow Jack's example. If you want a host to address, I'll give you personal attention for your question. Personal attention if you put your question in the super chat. Thank you, Jax. I agree. I think most Americans would be on the center. Jax, what I've said here numerous times is that we did not want a monarchy. Listen to this, Jax. This is my ideology. For everybody new here listening, we got a lot of trolls because we should have 100 likes. I don't know why we don't have likes. We have 400 people watching and we don't have likes. We have a lot of trolls and we have a lot of robots, but it's okay. I'm going to keep going. But anybody who's not a troll, hit the like button right now. Anybody who's not a robot, hit the like button right now. So Jax, you're going to give me an opportunity to share the channel's ideology with the audience. The framers were the greatest men who ever lived. America is the greatest country that ever was created. The Constitution and the Bill of Rights are the greatest documents ever. We wanted to leave a monarchy, a theocracy. You had to pay taxes and tribute to the king, and you had to be Christian. This is why religious freedom is at the crux of American individualism and freedom. We have the best country in the world. And to ensure we never end up under mono rule or monarchy, the framers created the House, the Senate, the Supreme Court, and the presidency. In the House, we have two parties, Democrat and Republican. They are supposed to disagree. They are supposed to be on different sides of the aisle because the idea in the design of the country was to have disagreement because we never want a monarchy. And we want religious freedom because we never want to be in a theocracy. So Jax, like you, so am I. I can be MAGA and be center right. I understand why it's called a house. Do you understand? My heart is a house for love, and I've learned that it takes this much to build it. My heart is a house for love, and I've learned that it takes this much. Get your Trump hands going. My heart, y'all ain't hit no likes. I'ma sing till I get 100 likes. My heart is a house for love, and I've learned that it takes this much to build it up. Yeah, man, go watch something else, man. Go watch something else, man. I really don't care, man. I only want real supporters, man. All of the haters and all of the people alone, and angry, go watch something else, man. We having fun. This is a podcast. We are having a good time. And you probably don't understand this intellectual conversation that I'm having right now. So that's probably why you're leaving but all of the people who are new here, who've never heard me talk about the ideology of the channel, who have the ability to comprehend the message. Because I don't care if you can't comprehend the message and you just want to be mad and troll. You can pick a different time to come in and be mad and troll. Right now, we're having an intellectual conversation, the foundation of the channel. We never wanted to be in a monarchy. We never wanted monotheocratic rule, right? So we have a house. The goal of the house, just like in the house with a mother and a father, the mother may have one opinion, the father may have a different opinion. The goal in the house, you hear me? Senate, Congress, red, blue, Democrat, Republican, the goal of the house, the goal of mom and dad. The goal of mom and dad never should be for dad to be right. The goal of mom and dad never should be for mom to be right. Do you understand what the Democrats have done with this female heroine and feminism and making it so that you think somebody watching is saying that I'm a feminist because, you don't want women to be right. You Shut up and listen, you mammy baby. No, the idea of the House is not so the Democrats can be right or that the Republicans are right. The goal of the House is that the House is not mom is right or dad is right. The goal is the betterment of the house, the home, the family, America, MAGA. It's not about the Dems. If the Democrats are right and in power all the time, we are living in a monarchy. We are living in a monarchy. Thank you, Jax. I too am center right because I understand the framers. I understand the Bill of Rights and the Constitution and the design. I want Democrats to have opinions. I want Republicans. I want us to disagree, and I want us to come together as a house and make the best decision for America. America is the house. For all the dum-dums, for all the dum-dums who never took civics, you don't understand. The Democrats cannot be right 100% of the time or they're kings. Like Nancy Pelosi, 85 years old, $400 million, in power 30 years. That's a queen. That's royalty. That's royalty. Maxine Waters, millions of dollars, paying her daughter millions of dollars, being in power years. Joe Biden was in the damn Senate 30 years. He came and did the crime bill in 1993 after being in the Senate in the 70s, and he was against school busing. Do you know how long Joe Biden and the Biden crime family allegedly has been in power and in politics? You worry about Trump in a third term. Can we be honest? Joe Biden had been in politics in America over 30 years before he ever hit the White House. He'd been in politics 50 some odd years, in power, influential, so influential, the Clintons called on him to help them pass the crime bill. I'm going to say that again. Joe Biden has been so influential, going back to school busing. He had a deciding vote in school busing. Joe Biden was so influential in politics. He's like a king. And can you believe the audacity of the Democrats with their own king, a dying king in office? Can you believe the audacity and the unmitigated gall of the Democrats with their very own dying king in office to assassinate the character of a billionaire with a Playboy wife and to assume that he wants to hang around this shitstorm? He's a billionaire with a Playboy wife. He's healthy with an 18-year-old son. He could be playing golf with his son, driving Ferraris with his son, having sex with a beautiful Playboy model. You think he wants to hang around here? You don't know what $1 billion is. You obviously don't know what $1 billion. See, Joe Biden and those people, Clintons, they were up there trying to get the billions. They were up there doing God knows what. What was Hunter Biden doing in the Ukraine on the board of an electric company? And why was Vice President Joe Biden caught on a phone call manipulating these folks into paying his son millions of dollars? Why is Maxine Waters worth millions of dollars? And why is Maxine Waters paying her daughter? Why is Nancy Pelosi's husband worth millions and hundreds of millions in stock options? Just tell me, who are the real royalty? If we're worried about J.D. Vance and Peter Thiel, who are the real royalty? Nancy Pelosi won't even say that she won't run. Nancy Pelosi won't even say that she won't run again. Nancy Pelosi won't even say that she won't run again. Jax, you're dropping so much. Thank you so much, Jax. I appreciate the super chats. Jax, you don't know, I've been getting attacked. I got everybody, half the people watching is robots. Typically, I get 300 likes, 1,000 people watching. All of a sudden, I got sniped. So the super chats mean everything. Nobody else is super chatting. They come here every day for free. They just want a freeload. Are you religious? I'm genuinely curious. I'm brand new to your channel. Thank you for tapping in. We don't really talk about religion like that. We gotta mask the subject. But what I will say is, when I first started talking about Charlie Kirk, I talked about the fact I disagree with a lot of Black people online. that Charlie Kirk was racist. I said Charlie Kirk had a message and it wasn't racism. I said Charlie Kirk's overarching message was the good book. And I believe what they were most afraid about Charlie Kirk is that he was converting young white men back to Christianity. It wasn't about conservatism. Shh, don't tell nobody. I believe the biggest worry, because in the pandemic and in the quarantine, Gavin Newsom closed churches. Title IX made young men not want to go to college. Title IX made young men not comfortable on college campuses. If you watch me, you know what I say is Project 2025 and Donald Trump was a must for me, because I want young men, black, white, and brown, to come back to church and to come back to school, go back to college. I argued for 2 weeks that Charlie Kirk's biggest message was to get young men, and people could say and argue young white men, but he had Candace Owens with Blexit, because, and if you knew, he did a black conservative meeting every year. One of his best friends, multiple friends were black conservatives. People don't, because, black people don't count as conservatives. Black conservatives don't count as black people. But Charlie Kirk had a lot of black conservative friends. But when I talk about Charlie Kirk, what I said yesterday is, what happened to all of Charlie Kirk's racists? Why are they focusing on Erica Kirk? I said they are afraid of Turning Point USA. The goal was to get rid of Turning Point USA because Turning Point USA was working. It was letting young men know, God, there's a place for you in the good book and in the house of the Lord. And it was letting young men know there's a place for you in college again. Trump got rid of Title IX. Trump got rid of Title IX. Do you guys know what Title IX did to young men? How young men felt vulnerable under toxic masculinity? So that was a great question, Jax, because there's a purposely that people, I saw Ta-Nehisi Coates today talking about Charlie Kirk was this bad person. And that's like, I think a lot of the people like that are part of this new democratic socialist agenda where they don't believe, right? The people who said that Starbucks has to change the cup. The people that say we have to say happy holidays and don't say Merry Christmas, right? I believe those people are deaf, right? Like I talked about a hypnosis, right? I believe some people really can't hear Charlie's message. But if you think about the book, if you really are spiritual, and if you really, really know the book and know that voice, that's part of the message, that it will be deaf, dumb, and blind to those who are not part of it. See, it be trolls in my chat. It be evil doers in my chat. But the righteous understand that when I hear these black people so sensitive, I know they not righteous. And I know what's happening is what the book said would happen, that they are deaf, dumb, and blind. But it's purposely. It's purposely. The message is right there. The message is right there. Every time Charlie Kirk speaks, it's around his neck. It's in everything he does. But you have to jump over that. And a lot of time I see black people who want to be victims, they hop over reality to get to victimhood. They hop over reality to get to victimhood. No, I'm going to ignore the reality that he was evangelical, prophetic. No, I'm going to jump over that. I want to jump over that and get to the jokes and the fact that, like, I run a podcast. Do you know how many people could get mad at me for certain things I say? I am not your mama. I am not your pastor. I am not your daddy. I am an entertainer, comedian, podcast host. And there is so many fatherless mammy babies on YouTube who want me to be their daddy, who want me to be their pastor. I am none of the above. I am a comedic host of a conservative leaning podcast. And you wanted so much from a 30-year-old young, my children are 30 years old. I have children. I graduated high school in 93. Charlie was born in 93. Charlie could be my son. You want that. You You want all of this. You want your salvation. You want everything from a boy. You want everything from a boy. Think about what they are asking of a boy. 30 years old. He didn't even get a chance to start his life and build up the wisdom. How many people want to talk about how stupid you were in your 20s? He just got to 30. You know, one of the funniest things I remember about is being 30 and thinking I was grown, not knowing I was just 29 5 minutes ago, right? Remember when Jay-Z would say 30 is the new 40 and 40? I thought I was grown when I got to be 30. I didn't know I went through a divorce in my 30s. You know, I was really grown up, but I didn't really grow up till I lost one of my parents. But I was in a growing up phase after my divorce, when I lost my home, my wife, my kid. Charlie Kirk was a young man. And look at what they want and expect from a baby. You just a baby boy. You not the real McCoy out here running these streets. I mean, they want the world. But Jesus was 33. You know what I'm saying? Jesus was 33. Jack said, I'm a Christian even more and more as I age. I'm glad my algorithm brought me here. You seem like a genuine stand-up man. Thank you, Jax. Thank you for all the super chats, and the support. Anybody watching right now who want the same attention that I've given Jax, put your comment in a super chat. I'll be very happy to address your comment. That's typical YouTube etiquette. Please respect the platform, respect the host. If you live with your mama, if you don't pay the cable bill, please find another channel, right? If you just an old, decrepit, elderly piece of crap, please find another channel, because I know a lot of you baby boomers watching me have money. Donate to the channel, or yes, go find another channel. I really appreciate it. I have been dealing with so much BS from all of you mammy babies. I'm not supporting you mammy babies anymore. No. Not supporting you mammy babies anymore. No. Not supporting you mammy babies anymore. No. Y'all don't have respect for the platform. You see a black man. You hear how Jack speaks to me? That makes no sense that I have so many haters when the truth is so self-evident. So when I talk about deaf, dumb, and blind, when I talk about hypnotized, this is a real thing. The other day I was on Twitter, and y'all know who Milo I tell on myself, I'm the whitest person that I know. I'm telling you, I'm the whitest person in my family. Because why am I reading Milo's tweets? I watch Steven Crowder, Louis C.K., you know what I'm saying, Charlie Kirk, Candace Owens, Blexit. Like, I'm the whitest person I know. So I'm reading Milo, right? I shouldn't be reading Milo, but hey, I'm real MAGA. It's MAGA, so Milo says, somebody says, why is this happening like this? Why is what's happening to me in my chat? And Milo says, because we're not fighting, a certain thing. We're not fighting communists. We're not fighting China. We're fighting evil. There are evil forces at work. My wife last night said, I'm going to watch the news. I said, oh, you going to watch violence, huh? She said, oh, it's 10 o'clock. I'm going to go watch the news. I said, oh, you going to watch violence, huh? She said, oh, no, it's not always violence. I said, yes, it is. And I said, it ain't nothing but violence going on in the country right now. I don't watch the 10 o'clock news. I don't watch the 10 o'clock news. It's all violence. In Sacramento, which is not in the headlines, Donald Trump sent National Guard and troops to all the ICE facilities nationwide, specifically Portland, to quell the left-wing radicalism in Portland, Oregon. But what you didn't hear about is in Sacramento, there was left-wing radical violence in Sacramento at an ABC affiliate where someone did a drive-by and shot up ABC. So you hear about ICE the Dallas ICE shooter. You hear about Portland, Oregon. You hear about ICE on the ground in Chicago. You didn't hear about the drive-by shooting after triple homicide. Remember the triple homicide in South Sacramento, where they spent millions of dollars a year on a shot spotter system that didn't work? A triple homicide. There were 4 individuals involved. The person who did the triple homicide and the triple homicide, the police didn't know. Just like with Tyler Robinson for 33 hours, there was a triple homicide in Sacramento. Police didn't know until the next day. There was an ABC drive-by after Jimmy Kimmel was taken off the air. Somebody, left-wing radicalized, shot up ABC in Sacramento. How many shootings have happened in the nation that are not nationwide news because someone didn't get hurt? So the ABC shooting in Sacramento, no one got hurt. So I want to know, as they tried to say left-wing radicalization and violence doesn't exist, how many shootings like the one in Sacramento occurred? Because there's so much violence to show. We still haven't uncovered the Dallas ICE shooter. Today, we're talking about Tyler Robinson appearing in court for the first time. I have video of Tyler Robinson appearing in court virtually for the first time. Tyler Robinson, brand new updates from Candace Owens. So we haven't even got to the Dallas ICE shooter. And then we have violence break out in Portland. And then now we have ICE on the ground in Chicago. I mean, we are living, it's almost like the 60s. It's almost like the 60s right now. And I say it got this way in America because under the Democrats, they focused under social justice and not any policy. No policy was done. No rebuilding of America was done after quarantine and pandemic. And they handed Donald Trump shit soup. So now MAGA has to clean up the shit. Let's talk about Candace Owens' brand new developments with Tyler Robinson, first day in court. Tyler Robinson court appearance on September 30th, 2025. Based on available reports and real-time discussion, the most recent court hearing of Tyler Robinson, 22-year-old, accused of fatally shooting conservative activist Charlie Kirk on September 10th, occurred on September 29th, not September 30th. This was his second court appearance. Extensive searches across the news. What are you talking about? Robinson faces several felony counts, including first-degree aggravated murder, obstruction of justice, and witness tampering. Prosecutors from Utah Attorney's Office have announced their intent to seek the death penalty, citing the shooting as a targeted assassination due to Kirk's political expression. So now that doesn't have to be from the black couch in the building. Salute to you. So now that's debate is over, because I know YouTube has been playing around. So now with this, we can now say, because now you have liberals and Democrats trying to debate whether or not this is an assassination. Let me read that again. So now we can put that to bed, and YouTubers like myself and anyone having this discussion can honestly say Charlie Kirk was assassinated. So it says here, prosecutors from the Utah County Attorney's Office, or we can say according to Utah County's office, Charlie Kirk was assassinated. We can say that. Prosecutors from the Utah County Attorney's Office have announced their intent to seek the death penalty, citing that the shooting as a targeted assassination due to Kirk's political expression. So now we can put that to bed. Arrest. Robinson from Washington, Utah, allegedly used his grandfather's scoped Mauser 98 30-06 rifle. He reportedly texted a roommate a note confessing intent. I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to take it. And later admitted to shooting when confronted. And later, listen to this, because I'm going to debunk. Candace Owens we got Candace Owens bullet points that debunks everything I'm reading. And later admitted to shooting when confronted. I don't remember any reports saying that he admitted. I remember people questioning, did he confess? He turned himself into Washington County's office with his parents on September 11th, accompanied by family friend. Held at 10 a.m. Robinson appeared remotely via audio only, no video feed, at the defense request, unlike his first appearance where he was visible on screen. His face was not shown, prompting widespread online speculation about security, jury tainting, or even conspiracy theories, e.g. claims of him being hidden or the case being fabricated. Heightened security was in place at the courthouse. Key proceedings: a waiver hearing to decide if the defense would waive the right to preliminary hearing, where prosecutors must show probable cause. They did not waive it. I'm going to show a video of that. A waiver hearing to decide if the defense would waive the right to preliminary. They're not waiving it. They want them to prove probable cause, right? So this is the defense argument. Nestor requested more time to review voluminous and massive evidence, including thousands of hours of digital discovery like CCTV footage. Prosecutors agreed to share materials within a week. Nestor stated they are not ready to waive the preliminary hearing and need preparation time. Prosecution emphasized the evidence volume and reaffirmed death penalty pursuit. They also addressed the gag orders enforcement. Robinson's involvement. He briefly confirmed his presence, yes, Your Honor, when asked by Judge Graff, but otherwise did not speak. Reports note he was not suicidal. Make a note of that also. Reports note that he is not suicidal. Counter any earlier police case. Judge rulings. Graff have upheld the presumption of innocence, promised to protect Robinson's rights, and scheduled the next in-person hearing for October 30th. We will be live to revisit the preliminary hearing waiver. Proceedings remain open to the public. It was about 30 minutes. The next steps, October 30th. Federal prosecutors are reviewing options, but this case is primarily state level. Myron said that on Tim Pool the other day that this is currently a state case. The feds have not charged them. Broader context: the shooting occurred during a TPUSA event. Kirk, 31, killed instantly. Robinson, described by family and neighbors as quiet and respectful, has no prior criminal history. His family home was searched, yielding no rifle and engraved cases. That is not what I heard. Now we're hearing that the family home was searched, yielding rifle and engraved cases. That's how they got the rifle and engraved cases. The case is high profile due to Kirk's prominence, political undertones. Developments are moving quickly. Okay, so now let's get to Candace Owens. So the reason we here today, thank you everybody watching. Double tap, hit the like button. I don't know what is so slow with the likes. I do not know what's going on with the likes. We need 100 likes 5 minutes ago. What is so crippling about the likes? It make me think that it's not real people watching. I have 126 watching, 400 just 5 seconds ago. Everybody watching, hit the like button. Let's get to 100 likes before we move any further. I gotta take my wife back to work. She's gonna be coming here any minute. Y'all go ahead and hit the like button before we go any further. Let's get some likes. Let me know it's not trolls. Let me know it's real Americans out there who love America. Out there, where's my MAGA minions? Where's my mega macho Tuesday, macho Tuesday taco? Where are you, all of my mega MAGA people out there? Double tap, hit the like button, share and subscribe. You're watching the Perfect Timing Podcast. Thank you to Jax for the mini super chats. We have a goal of 15 super chats. I think we have 5 or 6 or 7. Let's say we halfway there. So y'all got 8 more people. Hit a super chat if you would like to become a member of the channel. I know you do. What you need to do is subscribe. When you subscribe, you're going to get a plus sign. Hit that plus sign right now. We got a $2 holla. $2 to join the channel. Get your name lit up in lights in the chat. Become a factor in the conversation right now, loud and proud. Join the channel, Perfect Timing Podcast, top of the mid-morning from an OG perspective. 100 likes on the double. My baby said, we here. We need 100 likes on the double. 100 likes or we in trouble. Where the likes at, man? Baby, come on. Baby, come on. Baby, come on. Get the likes up, man. Double tap, get the likes up. I don't care who it is. I don't care what the algorithm did today. I don't care who they sent around. I don't care who they sent to my channel. I don't care who watching. I don't care. Hit the like button. I don't care. Double tap. Look at that super chat. Jackson with another thing. Thoughts on JB Pritzker? Let me look it up. Come on, everybody watching. Hit the like button. Thank you, Jax. That gives me a chance to do some research while these people play with my head top. Y'all gonna play in my face this morning. Y'all gonna play in my face this morning time. It's morning time, huh? It's morning time. Y'all gonna play with me this morning? Y'all gonna take me away from 500 likes, 700 likes, 1,000 viewers, and take me all the way down to Chinatown. That's what you're gonna do. That's what you're gonna do. Oh wow. Okay. JB Pritzker, born January 1965, an American businessman, philanthropist, and politician, serving as the 43rd governor of Illinois since January 2019. A member of prominent Pritzker family, known for founding the Hyatt Hotels chain. He brings a background into venture capital and investments to his role, where he's pursued ambitious progressive policies on education, healthcare, climate, and economy equity. As of September 30th, Pritzker remains as key Democratic figure with speculation about national ambitions, though he's focused on state leadership. Born in Palo Alto, California. Wow, you're from the Bay Area. I did not know that. I'm from the Bay Area. I'm very familiar with Palo Alto. Just like we talk about South Sacramento, East Oakland, East St. Louis, South Side Chicago, there is something called East Palo Alto, EPA. Look it up, everybody. Can I get EPA in the chat? Go ahead. Look up EPA in the chat. East Palo Alto. Now, in the 90s, when I was a child, Oakland and Richmond had the murder cap. He's Illinois governor, super corrupt. I'm getting there. I agree, Jax. I'm getting there. So I want you guys to look up East Palo Alto. In the 90s, East Palo Alto, imagine South Side Chicago, East St. Louis. East Palo Alto is almost like a suburb. It's not like a real city, right? East Palo Alto is like an enclave, but it's where the blacks live. Palo Alto is very affluent, right? It's super rich in Palo Alto. You know, 949ers, George Seifert and Joe Montana have homes in Palo Alto, right? But East Palo Alto had the murder cap in the 90s. So you had Oakland and Richmond in like 93, 94. But if you do your research on the top murders, we talk about Democrats, we talking about this shit. East Palo Alto should not have had the #1 murders in the nation. It shouldn't have. It's too small. It's not really a city. That lets you know about Democratic policies and leadership. East Palo Alto, and it's been plagued with crime ever since. To right now, East Palo Alto is a crime, murderly filled, dangerous, desolate place. I would not advise you to go there. That is a fact. So he grew up in Palo Alto, the Bay Area, which it makes a lot of sense with how he ended up governor of Chicago. It's a lot of similarities with Chicago because Chicago is a melting pot. Chicago is where you have a lot half black, half white, and in the Bay Area, and then Chicago is a metropolis like New York and San Francisco, where you have people of all races, all kind of food. So if you grow up in the Bay Area, you have a desire for a multicultural the true American experience like you have in New York and Chicago and San Francisco, where you have people around the world, people arriving every day. In the San Francisco Bay Area, people are arriving every day. You meet someone new every day. It's like New York. So it's people from all over the world. There's foods and fashion and culture globally in San Francisco, Chicago, New York. So I kind of get him going there. He graduated from Milton Academy and Duke University in '87, co-founded a group, Capital Political Career. He won an election in 2018, defeating an incumbent. Key achievements: economy, infrastructure, budget, taxes, education and healthcare, social, environmental policies, banned assault weapons, post-UVLAD, codified reproductive rights, enacted paid family leave for all workers, double renewable energy production, creating thousands of clean jobs, let out recent news, made headlines criticizing Trump administration, married. So what I'll say about him is I'm not impressed with the way he handled for specifically Labor Day weekend. Jax, you knew here, but we talked about Labor Day weekend. And I was really let down as a Black conservative because I understand the disproportionate effect on Blacks in DC and Chicago when Trump rolls out the National Guard. So disproportionately positive, there was a positive effect on Blacks in DC because the people getting killed and robbed and maimed 90% of the time were Black. Is Black on Black violence. So when violence stops in DC, you stop Black death. When violence stops in Chicago, you stop Black death. These are truths that we don't talk about because Trump is supposed to be racist. If Trump is racist, then we can't address that Washington, D.C., the nomenclature for Washington, D.C. is Chocolate City. Washington, D.C. has always been known as Chocolate City. Why would not we be excited, just ecstatic with the fact that Chocolate City is safe, that Blacks are safe, because predominantly Blacks live in Chocolate City, which is why it was known as Chocolate City, which is why the Black death was condoned. If it was white people killing white people for 50 years, somebody would have done something. But Chocolate City is fine. Chicago is fine. So that's why I am not, JB is not number one on my list, because the mayor of Chicago stood next to the governor of Illinois on Labor Day weekend when 9 people died. I know we never talk about the race of those 9 people because I feel like Democrats focus on race. But I let you guys guess in the chat the race of the 9 people that were murdered over Labor Day weekend. Donald Trump talks about it all the time. 70 shootings over Labor Day weekend. The National Guard is there now. The National Guard could have been there on Labor Day weekend to stop those deaths. 9 people did not have to die. Those 70 shootings did not have to occur in Chicago over Labor Day weekend. So JB and the mayor of Chicago left a bitter taste in my mouth because instead of focusing on the crime and violence, they had a parade on Labor Day. They had a parade. I said, what are you celebrating the death? What are you doing? They had a parade on Labor Day. They had a party. What are you doing? You're celebrating the murders. That's what you're doing. The Democrats had a party on Monday, Labor Day, after 70 shootings and 9 deaths. How do they do that? How do you have a party? Where do you get the money and the time? Why are the police? Because you have to have police. Do you understand the ludicrous nature of your Democratic Party? You have to have police. The mayor was there. The mayor gave a speech. There were people walking. They had to close down streets of downtown Chicago on Labor Day, Monday, after 70 shootings and 9 deaths. You party. You take police away from policing and finding out who killed those 9 people. You take police away from finding out who committed those 70 shootings. You don't care about Black death. You don't care about gang violence. You don't care about shooting. You had a party. No one ever puts this in context and couches it properly. Police officers had to protect those people. When I show you video of the Labor Day protests in Chicago, what you should understand is this is happening on a Monday after a weekend of violence. What you should understand is this is happening on a Monday after a weekend of violence and death. And the police officers are protecting people, white liberals, some of the worst people that ever lived. Shout out to Malcolm X, who's talked about the white liberal. Who is the worst white liberal? So white liberals who claim to be for you black people were partying while you were dying. But white liberals, this is what they do. It's like Hunger Games. It's like the Hunger Games. White liberals are having wine. I told you, Southside Chicago is where the violence is. But I told you, other parts of Chicago are beautiful. Beautiful museums, historical museums, beautiful universities, historical universities, beautiful buildings like the Empire State Building. They are having wine, cheese, and crackers, just like Democrats do, just like AOC going to the Met Gala, just like Jasmine Crockett on a private plane. They are having wine, cheese, and crackers. You can look it up on Monday, Labor Day weekend. We can dispute whatever you want to dispute, but you know there were 70 shootings. I went back years. I went back 2024, 2023, 2022. Well, you know what you find? Every Labor Day weekend, there are murders and shootings in Chicago. I did more research. You know what else I found? Every holiday weekend. Holiday. One is coming up. Columbus Day. Celebrate. It's time to murder black people. Holiday. It's time to get our guns. Celebrate. It's time to have some fun. Holiday. Look up Memorial Day, going back 5 years in Chicago. Look up Labor Day, going back 5 years in Chicago. Look up 4th of July weekend, going back 5 years in Chicago. Every holiday weekend they shoot. It should be a shirt. It should be a shirt. Every holiday weekend they shoot. Holiday. Celebrate. It's time to get our guns. Holiday. Let's go and have some fun. Celebrate. Chicago gonna kill someone. Holiday. It's time to get our guns. Celebrate. Chicago gonna kill someone. Every day, holiday. Every day, holiday. Every day, holiday. Holiday. Celebrate. Trump hands, everybody. Holiday. Because you know what? You know why? Because guess who hit the ground? 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 I called it. You called it. Guess who hit the ground? Guess who hit the ground? Guess who hit the ground? I know who hit the ground. National Guard just came to town. Guess who hit the ground? Oh, we're going to file a lawsuit. We already went to the Supreme Court. We already won. We already won in LA. It's the same Supreme Court. We already won in LA. We coming to Chicago. We already in Chicago. Guess who hit the ground? Guess who hit the ground? Guess who hit the ground? National Stop! Pippi! Shit! Stop! Hell wrong with you? Guess who hit the ground? National Guard deployment in Chicago. Current situation as of September 30th, 2025. The deployment of National Guard to Chicago and surrounding areas, Illinois, has escalated into a major flashpoint between Trump and administration, state and local Democrat leaders. This stems from intensified federal immigration enforcement operations dubbed Operation Midway Blitz. Blitz, Blitz, Chicago, we coming for your shit, shit. Midway Blitz, Midway Blitz, Midway Blitz. We on the ground. We on the ground. We own the ground in Chicago town. We own the ground in Chicago town. We own the ground. Midway Blitz, which began about 3 weeks ago. It began 3 weeks ago. ICE and Border Patrol agents have ramped up arrests in Chicago area, hundreds so far, targeted undocumented immigrants, but critics argue that tactics are indiscriminate. Yes, I voted for this. It is better than I wanted. Tactics are indiscriminate, affecting U.S. citizens, vendors, and families. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. Over the weekend, armed federal agents patrol high-traffic downtown spots like Magnificent Mile, Riverwalk, Gold Coast, River North, and even Trump Tower. So everybody could get it, leading to clashes with protesters in Chicago and suburbs like Broadview. President Trump has framed this as a necessary crackdown on crime and illegal immigration in Democrat-run cities, despite data showing violent crime in Chicago has declined. Not all certain violent crime, but other crime like murder and more heinous carjackings are up like 1,000%. They never say that. Illinois' governor, which started this first back and forth. Thank you, Jax, for that super chat. Thank you for the donations. Thank everybody watching. Double tap, hit the like button. All the trolls out there, do you understand that I love you and I thank you for watching? All the trolls out there, come on in. You can say whatever you want. Have you guys noticed we don't have no moderators today? The only people moderating the chat is YouTube, and I love it. I don't see a lot of the people that I normally see. You know what I'm saying? So we don't have no moderators. The trolls are free to come in. And I see a lot of racism. I see a lot of violence. You know, when I have my debate about whether or not it's left-wing violence and radicalization, it's from a different perspective. Because every day I get bombarded with left-wing radicals wishing me death, violence, and racial slurs for the entire time I am live. Could you do it? Could you do it? Create a live stream right now. Could you captivate an audience? Could you captivate an audience while presenting your information? And then at the same time, weave your way through the racist death threats while you preach about love and unity. Could you do it? Could you do? You can't even hit the like button. Think about you can't even hit the like button. You're such a mammy baby. You can't even hit the like button, right? Could you do it? Could you do it? You couldn't do it, bro. Could you do it? You can't even hit the like button. Federal request for troops. On September 29th, the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, sent a memo to the Pentagon requesting 100 military personnel, potentially National Guard or active duty troops, to protect ICE agents and facilities amid attacks on federal operations. The Illinois National Guard intercepted this memo, prompting the governor immediate public response. It's unclear if these would be Illinois National Guard under state control unless federalized. Out-of-state Guard units are regular military. No active order has been issued yet, per Guard spokespeople, but preparations are underway. Trump doubled down today, telling reporters we should use some of these dangerous cities as training grounds for our military National Guard because we're going into Chicago very soon. That's a big city with an incompetent governor. Thank you. He's made similar threats for Portland, Los Angeles, New York, and Memphis. We on our way. Portland, we already at Portland. Can we put in the chat? We should have talked about Portland bedroom community. We already on our way. Portland, we there. We there, Portland. Portland. This is the governor's stance. What I have warned of now being realized. None of what Trump is doing is making Illinois safer. He's coordinating with other blue state governors and prepping lawsuits, signing the Posse Cumulus Act. We already went to the Supreme Court. We already got approval in LA. Your city ain't no different. Here we come. MAGA, MAGA, MAGA. Can we get our Trump hands? MAGA, MAGA. We already there, baby. You can go to court all you want. We ain't gonna stop. Same thing happened in LA. The same thing happened in LA. We did not leave LA. We went to the Supreme Court and we won. We still in LA. We still gonna fix immigration. You saw 3 million people protest in the UK with Tommy Robinson. Why did 3 million people protest in the UK with Tommy Robinson? Because the people are fed up with this immigration issue and we don't want to deal with it no more. Thank you, Jax, for that question. Thank you, Jax, for that question. Candace Owens, ladies and gentlemen, Candace Owens. Where's my Candace Owens? Where's my Candace Owens? Candace Owens claims Tyler Robinson's surrender and related details. She has questions. Candace Owens. So that's what we're talking about today at 1 hour and 27 minutes. I feel like not even talking about it. I feel like maybe just, I don't know. I'm hoping Mrs. Perfect Timing show up. I got to go pick up my son. He got to go to karate today. And I want to be in a good mood. You know, you guys bring me down. You guys bring me down. And I actually have a good, blessed life. I actually have a beautiful wife and beautiful kids. And I'm actually very blessed. I'm blessed to have this opportunity, to have this platform, to be able to have this audience. And it's just unfortunate that the topic of democratic liberal radicalization is not a joke. That's why we see, you know, I think the way I feel now is the way people felt in 2024, 2023, and 2022. I saw a lot of people who were good people not feel good about themselves and not feel good about America. Imagine how that elderly man felt when this was a good guy, and good men have been shit upon by that last administration. This is a good guy. He's such a good man that when you old, it's hard to hold it when you got to use the bathroom. But this elderly man was waiting to use the restroom. I know that's not easy for him because it's not easy for me, and he was older than me. And the reason he was waiting to use the restroom is because he did not know which restroom to go into. That's the world we live in. Under Biden, Biden spent money. Biden and Gavin Newsom spent money, created policy so that we needed 4 choices for elderly baby boomers to pick from to go use the restroom. And they're all confusing. Why are they all confusing? Because none of them said men. There are 4 choices to go piss, and none of them said men. So the elderly man did not know what door to go into. Because during the last administration, being a man was demonized. This is some sick shit. This is some sick shit. Double tap, hit the like button. On September 29th, Candace Owens, they are lying about Tyler Robinson. She presented what's described as world exclusive information and sources close to Tyler Robinson family alleging a government frame-up. The Charlie Kirk assassination case. He claimed the official narrative, including details of Robinson's surrender, is fabricated. Now, you can't wait to hear these details. Owens emphasized that Robinson is not suicidal. He has not confessed and maintains his innocence. Below, check this out. So, Candace Owens first revealed that there was no voluntary surrender. We have heard reports that Tyler Robinson, with father and family friend, turned himself in voluntarily, and that Tyler Robinson's dad received $1 million bounty from Bill Ackman. But that was the report that I was going with. That was my understanding moving forward until Candace Owens showed yesterday. Double tap, hit the like button. Owens stated that Robinson did not turn himself in as reported. Owens stated that Robinson did not turn himself in as reported, by authorities. Instead, he went to the local police station voluntarily out of fear that SWAT team would storm his home and kill him and his family, viewing it as inevitable after seeing his photo on the news. It makes me think about a lot of stuff. It makes me think about the Boston bombing. Remember when they found those boys at the boathouse and they shot up the boathouse? It makes me think about the Boston bombing. We never really found out why those kids did that. It makes me think about a lot of these things that happened, and Tyler Robinson and his family understanding that maybe not only Tyler Robinson would be shot and hurt, but anybody else in that house. Because we've seen before where they just blow up the whole house and they overreact, right? So Candace Owens is saying that he didn't turn himself in because he was guilty. He turned himself in because he feared that him or his family may be hurt by overzealous police. That's the first revelation. That's the first revelation. Next, no confession to the father. So I just read to you reports that they are reporting out there that he confessed. Now, Candace Owens is counter narrative like we are here. And now she is arguing that there was never a confession to the father, despite what the reports are saying. Double tap at the like button. No confession to the father. Contrary to police reports, Robinson did not confess to his father, who then contacted authorities. Owens claimed this is complete fiction and that the father did not initiate the process to implicate his son. This is complete fiction. This is complete fiction. Family friend, role reverse. The family friend, a U.S. Marshal, did not facilitate a surrender at the father's request. Instead, Owens alleged the friend confronted the family first, pursuing them amid the unfolding narrative. So the family friend contacted the Robinson family, probably because they wanted some credit. The family friend contacted the Robinson family, probably because they wanted some credit. So everything we've learned everything we learn seems to be in question. Everything we learn seems to be in question. Everything we learn seems to be in question. Shout out to you, Moonstar. Thank you. And who is that? The Lockhart Perspective. Shout out to you. Thank you. Jax was donating his ass off today. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. I think when you want something done, you got to do it yourself. When you want something done right, you got to do it yourself. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? We still here. Still here. Shout out to everybody watching and supporting. Thank you for everybody watching and supporting. Milo gave his life to the God. Milo changed his life. People can change. But I always like Milo. I always like Milo. Everybody you like don't have to like you. Sometimes people don't like you. It's okay. You can still like them. But some people are so small-minded. But I like Milo. Always did. I'm telling you, somebody called themselves Deaf Dave. So many people just I wonder about that too. Why does YouTube bring people who don't want to see my content? I think YouTube thinks that the hate works better, but I see people with 5,000 people watching. Conservative channel, 5,000 people watching. There are a lot of MAGA conservatives out there. Why YouTube brings me to people who hate me, or there's people here who share my video and get people who hate me in here, is absolutely crazy. It's absolutely crazy. See, he said, oh my God, why does YouTube put this ignorant shit on my algorithm? That is a hell of a question. That is a hell of a question. I swear to God, that is a hell of a good question. I promise you that I agree with you. I agree with you. If you only understood content creators don't want you here either. I work very hard to create content for a curated audience. If you only stood content creators, I'm not Charlie Kirk. I don't want to convert you. I'm not here to convert you. That's not my job. I do not want to convert you. So I don't know why they bring you guys here. Shout out to David Little. Thank you for joining. No, I don't hate on Jax. Jax can ask as many questions as long as you do the super chat. I prefer that. I see Alonzo Hall in there. I see Conscious Moron. Damn, bro. You love Trump, I see. Shout out to Conscious Moron. Shout out to you, brother. You know, Conscious, you had a wrench. I took everybody wrench yesterday. I seen you had a wrench. I'm like, I was like, you know, every time I do a purge, I'm like, it was a good thing I did a purge because I saw Third Ward Colombian the other day when I was on Anti channel. Third Ward had a wrench on my channel. Never come support, never say nothing. Because as I came up on YouTube, I'll try to be friends with so many people, get support of so many people, never got support, never got friendship. All the guys are weird. Everybody on YouTube is weird. I like Conscious because I'm a chef. I have a background, a lot of different backgrounds. I work at Kaiser, I cook, I did a lot of different things. I saying Conscious Moron was a chef. Just because Conscious Moron is a Democrat and a liberal, he lived in Chicago too. He disagreed with me on a lot of stuff. But I don't care. I still love and respect him as a brother. That's how America, we supposed to agree to disagree, right? He don't have to like Trump. I like Trump. He don't like Trump. That don't mean we got to fight, hate each other, flag each other channel or nothing. I still could find common ground with him being a chef, him being a father, and a good overall man in America. You know, Democrats can be good men. Democrats can be good Americans too. So shout out to my brother, man. Shout out to my brother, man. Diana said, I can't find your like button. I believe you. I believe people are having trouble hitting the like button because I don't know what happened. Cold necklace. Thank you, Cody. God first. God first, always. God is good all the time. And all the time, God is good. CK1 American. It used to be, it's on the money. In God we trust. You know what I'm saying? That was what the framers wanted. And I believe there was a debate the other day that was saying, don't you believe Christian countries or countries that believe in God do better? And they didn't have a real intellectual discussion about why Christian countries do better. And I'm watching as a YouTube content creator, and I'm wishing I could get on the panel. And I'm out here, I'm screaming, tell them, why are, anybody in the chat, why are Christian countries better for people and communities? Because, you know, shout out to Conscious Moron. Conscious Moron is on a panel with Hood Conservative and a lot of people. And one day they were talking about love and love not being real. I agree. Love is not real, right? So the same thing is what's not real. Human rights. So in this same debate, they were talking about love not being real. Love's not real, right? It's a chemical equation. And then human rights don't really exist. And human rights don't exist, right? Like when you talk about rights and the Bill of Rights, those things don't exist. So what if you understand that men had to create them in order to have communities be the way they are, to have civil. This is why it's called civics and civil, being civilization, right? This is where civilities come from. Because before we had civilities and civilization, somebody would just beat you over the head and you would be their wife, or someone could kill you and take your wife, take your children, take your food. There were no rules and laws and rights for eons. When men lived, men conquered. Genghis Khan has the most progeny on the earth to this day because Genghis Khan conquered. Imhotep. Who else? Who's the guy on the elephant? Hannibal. Like they conquered, right? When the Moors took over Europe, they conquered and took the white women as concubines. They didn't ask. There was no rights for the people when you had slavery. And when they always argue, oh, we've always had slavery because you didn't have any rights. If you understand these things, then you understand Christianity, then you understand where human rights come from. Well, human rights come from the Bible. Human rights come from Christianity, because when you develop this thing called civilization, civility, and human rights, and people have certain inalienable rights born by God, do you understand that phrase? That you are born with certain alienable rights given to you by God. They had to say by God because a man would challenge it. A man with power and money would challenge your right, because that's what was equal back then. I can challenge your right. If you don't have more power and money, I can take what you have. It's my right. But no, not anymore. Why can't I take what he has? If I have more money and power, I can take from him. That is the rule, right? No. Why? Because he has certain inalienable rights given to him by God. Who? What God? All of this is new. Did you know that? All of this is new. That you have certain alienable rights granted you by God that I, because I'm bigger, stronger, with more money, can't take from you. That stops me. This is a brand new concept, the Bill of Rights. That's why it's separate from the Constitution. The Bill of Rights grants you something that never existed. That's why America is so great. The Bill of Rights grants you something that you never had rights. Humans don't come with rights. You have rights based on Christianity. Shout out Charlie Kirk. Shout out to Charlie Kirk. Shout out. It's a damn shame y'all don't understand these facts. I'm going to say it. It's a damn shame y'all don't understand these facts of what human rights are and why they exist, and they don't exist in a theocracy. In Muslim rule theocracy or China under communism, guess what you don't have? You don't have rights. Socialists and all these Marxist trained Democrats, Jasmine Crockett, BLM, Antifa, they want you to get to a system where you own nothing, but you don't have to buy food. But guess what else? You don't have rights. Oh, you get free food, huh? You get free housing. This is a welfare lifestyle, communist lifestyle that you sacrifice all of these things. Well, I want the government to pay for my house. But you don't have rights. You don't have certain alienable rights in a pursuit of, you don't have a right to pursue happiness. No, everything you need to do is for the greater good of the country. Communism, commune. You don't have rights, individual rights. No. We are a collective. Mao Zedong, we are a collective. Everything we do is for the collective. No more individual freedoms. Y'all didn't know that? See, they took away civics class. Y'all don't know what you're talking about. Cassandra said, not a robot, old white lady. Hope that's okay. I love Jesus. I love you too, Cassandra. Donate with your old ass. With your old white ass. Donate. W. Taylor said, give me a chance to like first. Well, how about this? I'll give you a chance to like somebody else. How about that? JD Vance is very intelligent. I love JD Vance. I love JD Vance. Gavin is a thief and a liar. Is that Megan's right-sided opinion? Yes, he is. I can't believe Colbert let him sit on that couch and not ask him about the 100 million and not ask him about where's the water and be so indignant that they get to sit up there and they get to sit up there and talk that shit about immigration and ICE after you and Biden, you giving out licenses. Shout out to did y'all hear about the leader? So California has a leader of transportation. There's a secretary of transportation in California. And the secretary of transportation in California said he ain't giving out no more CDLs. See, Gavin Newsom can't be mayor again. I'm telling you, in California, there's going to be a Republican. There's going to be a backlash to Gavin Newsom. There's going to be a Republican governor in California. And if you did not know, that's all I do is give you guys news. The transportation secretary in California said, I'm not giving no more CDLs to illegal immigrants. People hate me, but they keep coming back. $74, heads up, 7 up. Heads up, 7 up. Heads up, 7 up. Some of these people I've seen here before, why are they still here? Sometimes. Okay. Just doing my purge. I agree with you, Ray. Ray Chanel, I agree with you, Ray. Yes, I like to hear myself. Most people do. It's a blessing. It's a blessing. Oh, okay. We made it. We made it. Malik Townsend, if you have a question, put it in the super chat. Oh, you just a troll. Get the trolls out of here. All right, all right, all right. Now look at that. Everybody double tap, hit the like button. Everybody double tap, hit the like button. Everybody double tap it. Oh, now somebody want to flag the channel. See, I tell you guys, we got us somebody trying to troll a channel, and you just gotta fight through it. Oh, my neck. Okay, so Tyler Robinson, Candace Owens updates. Contrary to police reports, Robinson did not confess to his father, who then contacted authorities. Owens claims this is complete fiction, and the father did not initiate the process. The family friend, a U.S. Marshal, did not facilitate the surrender at the father's request. Instead, Owens alleges the friend confronted family first, pursuing them amid unfolding narrative. Not suicidal. Authorities' portrayal of Robinson as suicidal is a lie. Owens says sources confirm he is not suicidal and was motivated solely by self-preservation during his police visit. Wow, no involvement in the shooting. Robinson has never stepped foot on Utah University campus. Tyler Robinson attended University of Utah. These are two different campuses. I think people conflate the two. So listen, there are two different college campuses. Tyler Robinson, 4.0, one of the most smartest people in Utah, attended U, where there was a CIA recruitment program. I'm going to say that again. Tyler Robinson, one of the smartest persons in Utah, had never set foot on UVU campus. Tyler Robinson received a $30,000 presidential grant. Are you listening? Tyler Robinson received a $30,000 presidential grant in criminology to go to U, where they have a CAI. Put it in the chat. CAI. If you want to know details about the CAI program at U, go watch Ian Carroll or Pastor Larry Gators. I got this information from Pastor Larry Gators, and Ian Carroll has done a deep dive on Tyler Robinson's connection to the CIA recruitment program at the University of Utah, where Tyler Robinson attended school as a 4.0, the most smartest person in Utah. And while you're doing that research also, and this CAI program is ran by ex-CIA. And when Candace Owens was saying that Utah changed its state flag to a honeycomb and it's the beehive state, what I wondered at that time, until Ian Carroll came out with the fact that he knew about the CIA, now I can confirm Candace Owens knows about the CAI. All I would say to Candace Owens is, when you said the beehive state, I was wondering, were you purposely not going toward the CAI? Because when I heard you say beehive, honeycomb, the first thing I thought about was the Beekeeper movie with Jason Statham and the connection of the beekeeper to the deep state and the CIA. So when you say Utah, because when I did my AI research of Utah University, two things I found out. There is a CAI program at both universities. There is a CIA recruitment program at both U and UVU. Let me say this again. CIA is on the campus of U, where Tyler Robinson went to school, and UVU, where Charlie Kirk was shot, where they say Tyler Robinson shot Charlie Kirk, but Candace Owens is saying that he never set foot on that campus. I am just sharing with you today. I don't know if you've ever heard about this, but Tyler Robinson received a $30,000 presidential grant to go to the University of Utah. At the University of Utah, they have something called the CAI recruitment, and a recruitment program ran by the CIA. Now, when I researched Utah and these programs, what I found was that Utah is a favorite place of the CIA, Secret Service, and Deep State for recruitment. This has been known by the inner circles for a long time and is not hidden, which is why Utah recently changed when Candace Owens talks about Caldera. When Candace Owens learned recently about the Pipe Fitters Association with the CIA. With Candace Owens, I don't know if she's purposely leaving it out, but what I found when I did my AI research is that these interstate agencies purposely recruit LDS because they feel LDS children are better suited to work for these departments. So it is not even a thing that's hidden. If you live in Utah, you know that the FBI and the CIA actively recruits Mormon kids, and they like to recruit LDS Mormon kids to be CIA agents, which is why they have multiple programs all around Utah looking for the best LDS children to recruit them. I was surprised. I didn't know this, but when I researched it, I found out it's not hidden. It's not hidden to the point where they just changed their state flag to a honeycomb beehive because they are a part of the beehive, the beekeeper from the Jason Statham film. This is outwardly, inwardly celebrating who they are. Without, if you know, you know. You know how the young people say, if you know, you know. So when Candace Owens talked about the new state flag, I wondered if she was alluding to her knowledge of the CIA using Utah and the LDS for like farming. That's why it's part of the beehive. They farm there. I was hoping that none of your business. She got to go. Everybody got to go. None of your business. You gone. Who else needs to go? Quentin, you better be good. Calm down. Exactly. So Quentin, you got to go. Nobody don't tell me what to do on my channel. I don't know why you would come into somebody's chat and try to give them an order when you don't even have a job. Learn to put the fries in the bag first. Can I get that in the chat? Learn to put the fries in the bag first. Can I get that in the chat? So one of the things I wanted to say is that to Candace Owens and to Ian Carroll is that pretty much you guys have uncovered like a modern conspiracy, because with the knowledge of the CAI programs at both University of Utah and UVU, what we now have to be honest about is that Candace Owens has placed police, sheriff, and FBI on the scene, right? We know FBI was on the scene. We know police was on the scene, right? Candace Owens has placed what I'm doing today. What I'm doing right now is I'm placing CIA on the scene. So now you have to look at this Charlie Kirk assassination. Now we know that Utah is calling it assassination. The feds haven't come in. What we do now is we have to look at everything in American history, right? Shootings and assassinations where when we find out later who was on the ground. We didn't know that day, but they said lone wolf, right? But now, weeks later, we find out that the CIA was on the ground. The FBI was on the ground. The local authority. Why was everybody on the ground? And why did this happen at UVU where we have this CIA, FBI, deep state presence, Caldera, and all these links? That's the one question that I had. That if it was, I don't know if it's a conspiracy or not. We're having a conversation. But if it was, it's a perfect scenario. It's a perfect storm because we're at a place where everyone is there, right? And if everyone is there, how could you get away? Think about this, if we have recruiters and we have young CIA agents being trained, how did he get away? Unless they're involved. I don't know if they're involved. I'm not saying they're involved. I'm just asking a real question, right? FBI is on the ground. Police and local authorities are on the ground. They swoop in and arrest 71-year-old man who drops his pants, who appears out of nowhere and says he did it. A 71-year-old man who's later charged for PDF. Now he can't talk. It seems very, very boom, sequential and set up. The 71-year-old man appears out of nowhere. That's how we know the FBI is there. No one knew that the CIA is there, because why would the CIA be there? There's no reason for the CIA to be there. There's not no spies, right? It's Charlie Kirk. There's no reason for the CIA to be there, right? Right? There's no reason for them to be there, right? There's no reason. Now we know that they're there. They're there. Why? And if the CIA is there, the FBI is there, local authorities are there, how come the shooter wasn't found for 33 hours? And when you finally find the shooter, it's because he turned himself in because he didn't want to get murdered. That seems odd. If you have a CAI program on UVU and U of U, that means you have people who are training that should have had their eyes and ears. Why did everybody run? This investigation should have went a lot differently, knowing who's on the ground, right? I'm LDS. This is true. I graduated from BYU in 2011. So this is just information. Y'all do your research. Y'all do your research. Oh man. Look it up, bro. You got an iPhone just like me. You got an iPhone just like me. Look it up, bro. Anybody get it in the chat? Center for Anticipatory Intelligence. Based on your query, it appears you're referring to the Center for Anticipatory Intelligence at the University of Utah. This program has a strong ties to national security intelligence, including collaborations with agencies like the CIA, FBI, and DIA, making it a frequent subject of discussion in contexts like intelligence recruitment and advancement security training. Okay? There's a degree and there's a program. And when I did my research and I dived deep, I found out there's a similar program at UVU. And I found out that this is something that's been done in Utah for a long time. It's not hitting. It's not in plain sight, but it's not hidden either. It's not in plain sight, but it's not hidden either. Somebody said the CIA was hosting training event an hour or so. Eric, do you already know what I just told you? So now are you familiar with what I just told you, Eric? You could watch, Eric, but you can't participate in my chat no more. So Josh, did you get the information? Appreciate it, sir. Thank you. You're welcome. Look it up. Look it up yourself. If Boy was black, they would have found him about 3 hours. Facts. But there's so much that we're uncovering right now, Candy 215, that people didn't know. There's so much that we're covering right now that people didn't know. And that's what Candace Owens is saying. There's so much we're uncovering right now that people didn't know. And that's why Candace Owens is saying that. So let's get back. So last thing we said is not suicidal and no involvement in shooting. Robinson has never stepped foot on the UVU campus. So when I first said that, that's when I went into educating you guys about the CAI program and the presence of those people in Utah. And when I did my deep dive, how I found out that it is known but not known that they recruit heavily in LDS in Utah. Because what it said to me is they understand that LDS children and that LDS people have the perfect fit for what they're looking for, right? As far as loyalty, intelligence, they purposely recruit LDS. They purposely recruit in Utah, is what I found. I did not know that before Charlie Kirk's murder. I don't know how many people know that. Be cautious talking about Candace Owens' words. That's true. No, we ain't even talking. I thank you, Jackson, but we ain't even talking about Candace Owens right now. This is my research. Candace Owens talk about something else. Candace Owens, I'm wondering why she hasn't brought this out. And last night I saw Ian Carroll, and Ian Carroll talked about the CAI program, and you can go on Ian Carroll, cancel this podcast. You can go on his channel on YouTube. He did a deep dive. I was very thankful and surprised because the information's been out for about a month. The information's been out for a couple weeks about these programs, right? But Candace Owens hasn't talked about it. So I was like, maybe she's avoiding it on purpose. Or I didn't know if she knew. But when Ian Carroll presented it, I already knew about it weeks ago. So when Ian Carroll presented it, I'm like, good. Candace Owens has to know now that the CIA was on the ground. You ready? Tacos. I love you guys. I'm out. Have a good day. Hold on, here I come.